Welcome to PA Timber Goose. Today is November 21st. Another beautiful morning in the woods today. Starting to warm up here. I had some hikers walk up on me and didn't realize I was there. There's my mossy oak bottomland camo, and I am sitting on top of an oak tree. You can tell how well this camo pattern blends in. At about 10 yards, this jacket would disappear, and that's exactly what happened. I was sitting on top of a log like this. I had this on, my camo hat. I stood really still, and I actually wanted to see how close I could get to the two hikers and their three dogs. As long as I didn't move and the dogs didn't smell me, no one knew I was there. And then the two hikers start laughing at me. They're like, "Yeah, you got really good camo there. Very good camo pattern." It's like, we didn't even know you were there. She looked down to do something with her phone, and then she realized I was sitting there looking at them. That was kind of funny. Okay, this video is about the long bomb. If you're an archery hunter, you understand what I'm talking about. The long bomb is a question of ethics. So a normal archery shot is usually 30 yards or less. Most people like to shoot at 20 yards. My preferred distance is about 30. Deer have a habit of jumping the bowstring, even on a crossbow. Unfortunately, that came back to get me this year. I had a nice doe at 30 yards. I watched her come in from 100 yards. She kept getting closer and closer, and she was on full alert. Both ears were sticking up. So I don't think she saw me, but she was definitely listening for whatever she was looking for. I squeezed the trigger very slow on that doe, and I had the 30-yard dottle right behind that shoulder, trying to take that scapula bone out. And she proceeded to flinch once the crossbow fired, and she dropped about a foot. My bolt flew over top of her into some pickers, and she went about 50 yards and stood there and looked around. She had no idea where I was or where that crossbow bolt came from, but unharmed. Live another day. Hopefully I'll run into that doe again. So most of my shots I try to shoot between 20 and 30 yards. Today I was within 20 yards of two hikers and three dogs, and none of them knew I was there. If you have the right camo pattern, this actually matches the area that I'm in, because I'm in a lot of red oaks. Mossy oak camo pattern is very hard to beat. It's always better to get closer to the game that you're trying to harvest. Doesn't matter if it's an elk or a bear or a deer. Archery equipment has its limits as far as kinetic energy. You see a lot of YouTube videos out there. Guys are shooting a 100-yard bomb. Some people shoot very well with their archery equipment, and they are above average shots. That's a very small percentage group. I am not one of those people. I'm one of the guys that actually have the injuries that legitimately cannot shoot a conventional style bow. Okay, back to the long bomb. Is it an ethical shot? Well, if you have a mechanical broadhead, they take a lot of kinetic energy to open. My longest bomb would be 40 yards. I prefer not to shoot past that. I know my blades will open on a deer at 40 yards, and I won't go past that. Got some woodpeckers back there hollering at me. They seem to follow me around. Fixed blade broadheads, they're actually very good at soft tissue. Some of them are not good at breaking bones. You can shoot fixed blade broadheads on a 35-pound recurve bow or a very lightweight compound, but you need a heavy arrow. They do not generate a lot of kinetic energy. Most of their killing power comes from the broadhead and the slicing action. So no matter what broadhead you have to be able to hit what you're shooting at. You have to be very good with it. Constantly shoot your bow before you go hunting. Make sure your scope is on. Make sure your sight pins didn't move. Make sure your wheels aren't out of time because your strings didn't stretch a little bit. That will throw the timing of your wheels or cams out. If you're shooting a long bomb, and there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Things could break. You could hit a twig. I'm notorious for hitting tiny twigs in the woods. You can have the perfect shot at 30 yards like I did in Elk County. You can hit a little tiny limb like this, and your arrow is going to go wherever it wants to. You're going to miss. That's got me more than once. I've had two doe jump the bowstring, one at 40 yards, and luckily she wasn't running too fast or it would have hit her in the back end. It still took out the back end of both lungs, so she went a little bit and fell over. I could watch that doe fall over. How she jumped that crossbow bolt coming at her, I would say it was probably my lighted knock. She saw the red missile coming at her, and she kind of turned on the afterburner there, and it hit her a little bit further back than I wanted to. The one I missed a week ago, I kind of wish I could have got a shot at her at a little bit further out. I don't think she would have jumped the string on me. So your deer can jump the string. They have a habit of jumping down or flinching. So if you're at 50, 60, 70 yards and they hear your crossbow or your bow twang, they will move. Deer don't stand still, and there's lots of little twigs in the woods. So it comes down to a question of ethics. Is it an ethical shot for the 100-yard bomb or the 80-yard bomb with your equipment? I'm very curious to know what everybody has to say about that. So let me know what you think about the long bomb. Some of the new bows, you can actually see them shooting at a rifle range, and they're actually shooting a field tip. They're not launching a broadhead at 100 yards, which have a tendency to plane off to the right or the left because of the blades, or your arrow is spinning out of balance, which happens sometimes at longer distances. If you sight your bow in at 20 yards and it shoots an inch to the left, at 30 yards it's just going to magnify. Now you're at 4 inches to the left. 50 yards, you missed your archery target, so it's just going to compound as it gets further away. I like to shoot my crossbow at 20 yards and 30 yards, and before I'm done I take one shot at 40 yards to see where it'll hit. And my Excalibur micro suppressor, the Rainbow Arc, actually starts at 30 yards. 40 yards it becomes very prominent, and I did take one shot at 50 yards, and I was not happy with the result. So I prefer not to shoot past 40 yards. That would be my maximum range. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost today. Let me know some thoughts and opinions on the long bomb with archery equipment. What's your maximum distance, and how do you feel about other hunters taking long shots? Are they ethical? Okay, that's it for this video. Smash that like button, give me a thumbs up, and as always, hit that subscribe button. We'll see you on our next video. Thanks for watching PA Timber Ghost.